Levan from BulldogHammer, and in today's episode, I want to present the new Battletome Age of Sigmar, the Sons of Behemat. Really excited about this book. Also, we got 3 boxes of Mega-Gargants, so yes, destruction all the way. In this episode, I will do a review, more like first impression, because I didn't read the book yet, but very excited. So stay tuned and see, is it really good or just fun? So the art, first of all, the art is great. We already saw it in previews and in lots of teasers in Age of Sigmar groups. Look at that! Look at that crushing Stormcast, because they're destruction, and I like the brothers, probably Grimm or something, like fairy tale theme to that. And also you see on every page there is a hand of Gargant. Pretty cool. The story so far is good. What I heard from YouTube, nice, but I can't wait to read it myself. But let's keep everything and move to Allegiance abilities and what they can bring into the table. Here, these guys are like, they're amazing. So I will read it through page by page and try to give my thought about them. So first of all, we see that Allegiance ability Sons of Behemat, they can be from 3 clans: Taker, Stomper, and Breaker tribe. And depending on the clan, the general must be one type of Gargant. Battle traits: Personal Mitre makes Rider. We saw it in Beastclaw Rider's Allegiance abilities, where one Stonehorn counts as like one monster from this Allegiance ability counts as 10 models. Here we see that one Man Crusher Gargant, the smaller one, counts as 10, and the big one counts as 20. Pretty cool. They will be, I think, dominating objectives if they're standing on them. Not many Horde armies, and even if I think Horde army charges the one Gargant, there will be not many left. So, pretty good ability. Will not only they will be like very crushing and strong army, but they will be like for objective play too. So we'll see. Also, Chuck Rock. So in your shooting phase, you can pick one friendly Man Crusher and wholly within 8 of your general. And a model in that unit can make a shooting attack with a Chuck Rock missile. D3 attacks, 4+3 plus -1. D3. Actually, not bad. For example, if you're having a multi-model unit of Man Crusher, like for example 3 units in one, 3 models in one unit, then will be what 3d3 attacks. Not bad with D3 damage. Decent shooting, not crazy, but at least something. Lord and Master, here, as I told you, for example, Kraken Eater, if he's a general, he must be from Taker tribe, and vice versa. Taker tribe must be general Kraken Eater. War Stomper must be general Stomper tribe, and Gate Breaker must be from the Breaker tribe. He must be a general. So let's move to Taker tribe, and simultaneously I will review Kraken Eater, just for you guys to understand, because all their abilities are going around him. So let's read what the Kraken Eater is. So 35 wounds. Yeah, huge amount of wood. Save is 4+, not huge. I was expecting to have for a big Gargant 3+ save, because 4+ save, having lots of units with -1 and even -2 rends, it will be pretty easy to deal damage to Gargants. And 35 wounds may seem like a lot, but with a multi-damage units and with good rends, it shouldn't be that hard. Bravery 7. So he has a missile weapon. On his strongest side, It's 24-inch range, very decent range. Basically, he will be able to shoot right from the beginning, because most of the battle plans start 12 inches from the center, and so 24 to enemy units. 3 attacks, 4 plus, 3 plus, -1 D3 damage. Not quite a lot, but if you bring the ability that we had chuck rocks to that, then you might deal some good damage. Also, what I viewed, the Kraken Eater is the weakest one in terms of close combat, but he's very nice and cool abilities. So, Almighty Stomp, 2 attacks, 3 plus, 3 plus, -2 D3. Again, I was expecting Gargants to do much more damage like on the war scrolls, but let's see if Allegiance abilities, artifacts can improve that. Also, Death Grip, 3 plus, 2 plus, 1 attack, -3 rend, basically automated hit most of the times, and D6 damage, not bad. And Shipwrecker Club, 8 attacks, 3 plus, 3 plus, -2, 2 damage. Of course, he can deal lots of damage with a good luck, but again, it's 500 plus model, so yeah, not crazy amount of damage. For example, I think Stonehorn can perform significantly better. Why I'm keep talking to comparing to Stonehorn, because I think Stonehorn is the strongest melee monster in the game, and yeah, so I'm comparing Gargants to them. So Almighty Stomp, you can roll hit also 1 attacks unless the target is a monster. Okay. And my Almighty Stomp is just 2 attacks. Not super cool, but okay. Nice to have. After this model makes a charge move, roll a dice for each enemy unit within one of the model. On 2 plus, that unit suffers D3 mortal if it's a monster, or D6 mortal wound if it's not a monster. This one is actually not bad. Oh, it's on a charge move. Yeah, it's not bad. So you have pretty let's say a good chance for 2 plus to deal D6 damage. If you roll 6, it's 6 damage on a charge, already basically crippling any unit. But again, not something crazy that will, change the game. For example, Stonehorns have this Metal Cruncher, amazing artifact that every combat phase deals D6 mortal wounds. That's crazy. Death Grip, you can roll hit also 1 for Death Grip, attack the target, a monster. Okay. That one, next one, is really good. It's called Get Off Me Land. Kraken Eater Mega-Gargant hate intruders and trespassers, and do not take kindly to people that decide to fight battles on their land. So what he does, he can kick an objective in any direction for 2d6 range. An objective cannot be kicked away more than once per phase. So this is a very cool ability. Why? Because first of all, now you can control objectives where they move and find better positions for your army and weaker position for the opposing party. But on the other hand, what you could do is kick, for example, some battle plans. They give more points if you hold objective on neutral territory or opposite territory, opponent's territory. So if you kick objective from your territory to neutral territory, you can get more points. Pretty cool. Long Shanks. When this model makes a normal move, it can ignore models that have a wound characteristics of 10 or less, and terrain features that are less than 4 tall, or their highest point, and cannot finish the move, blah blah blah, another model, on top of another model, or within 3 of enemy model. Okay, that's pretty much, it's basically as flying, but not quite as flying. So, yeah, not bad. Then, Sons of Behemat. If a spell or ability would slay this model without any wounds or mortal wounds being inflicted by it, the spell or ability. This model suffers D6 mortal wounds. We saw this ability on Gotrek, where he cannot be slain by the spell. Instead, he just gets 1 wound. And here is the same, but D6 mortal wounds. It's pretty cool because they can be hand of dusted or something like that, right? So you see, with every Battletome, Nagash is getting weaker and weaker, and yeah, there must be something done about that. Stuff him in minute. After this model piles in, you can pick up these 3 enemy models within 3 of this model and roll a dice for each one. If the roll is at least double that model's wound characteristics, it is slain. That's actually, I was expecting this rule because many big models have them, like Trogots and everything. But difference with the Mega-Gargant and other abilities similar to that. Usually you should roll same or higher wound characteristics. So for example, if a model has 3 wound characteristics, so you have to roll 3 plus, or 5, you have to roll 5 plus. Here you have to roll double of it. For a big Gargant, it shouldn't be like that. I think it should be like on par, rolling the same. But for example, if now you face a model with 2 wounds, it's like you have to roll 4 plus, it's 3 plus, it's 6 plus, so basically it won't work. Terror, subtract 1 from bravery, that's cool. Reminds me from rules from old BulldogHammer where they had terror and like frighten or something like that. Timber, if this model is slain before removing the model from the battlefield, the player okay, if this model is slain before removing this model from the battlefield, the players must roll off. The winner must pick a point on the battlefield, 5 from this model. Each unit within 3 of that point suffers these 3 models. It's pretty cool rule. It had the same rule with Gargant. Again, I expected this rule on their war scroll, but since they're bigger, I was hoping and thinking that it will be not this 3 damage, but this 6 damage. So basically, whatever they have, I was expecting having D6, and they have D3s all over the board. So I don't know if it's better or worse. Let's see. So now, since we already read the Kraken Eater, let's go to his tribe. His tribe is Taker. I think pretty cool abilities there. So let's go. So first of all, get them rid of them. Even reading the first ability, it's more force based on not damage but controlling an objective game rather than just hitting. But let's see. So get rid of them. When using it, the minor makes rider rule. You remember when one model counts as 10 for a small giant and 20 for a big one. Here, small main crusher gargants, they count as 15. And Mega-Gargants count as 30. So most likely they will always control objectives if they are there, which is good because it's objective game, right? More stuff from my collection. That's pretty cool. When you kill a model with an artifact, you roll for a triumph. We all know how triumphs are important in the game, and many of us try to get less than 2,000 points for the game to get this triumph. And now every time you kill anything with artifact, you get another triumph. Pretty neat. Let's go to command traits. So you can choose, as in any army, one of 6 command traits for your general. First is this general has a wound characteristic of 40 instead of 35. 5 more models, or 5 more wounds, why not? Second one is old and gnarly. You can roll several, so 1 for attacks that target this general. In this point, I would say that I would prefer first one having 40 wounds rather than rolling once to save, because there are lots of mortal wounds in this game, and to better have to like store more wounds rather than hoping to roll 1. Larder Then words. Add 1 to the attack characteristic of this general Shipwrecker War Club. Shipwrecker War Club, so they start with 8 attacks, so you have 9 attacks with 2 damage, 3 plus, 3 plus, minus 2. Not great, nothing like game changing. Strong right foot. When you use this general, oh, that's a good one. When you use this general get off me land, you remember when they can kick the objective for 2d6, now they will kick it for 3d6. I think so far I would go with a strong right foot so far. Very acquisitive. You can take 1 extra trophies taken by force artifact of power for this general's army. What is okay? In addition, the general can have up to 2 artifacts of power instead of 1. Oh, so you, what I understand, if I understand it right, you basically get additional artifact, like as if you had a battalion or something. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for enemy models that are within 3 of this general. Well, if you are playing a more tanky game and want to stay in the game, so yeah, -1 to hit, it's a pretty significant rule. Why not? Hitting on 3s plus or 4 pluses, it's a big difference. I know because I play for Renaissance. So artifacts of power now. Jaws of the Mega-Gargant. Once per phase you can roll 1 hit roll or 1 wound roll or 1 save roll. You can use this ability to roll more than 1 dice for the bearer in the same phase. This is a very good artifact. Why? Because you don't have so many rolls. Some rolls will be very critical for you that you need to get this hit. You need to get this save, right? So this one reroll once per phase might really help you in the game. Again, compared to Beast Claws, they have artifact, but once per battle that they can roll everything. Much better artifact, much stronger artifact. Walloping Tentacle. At the start of the combat phase, you can pick 1 enemy hero. Within 3, on 4 plus, the hero suffers 1 mortal wound, and you can roll hit rolls of 1 to attack the target that hero. Yeah, good if army is very heavy on heroes, like monster heroes or something, but this artifact wouldn't be my priority for sure. Once per battle, at the start of the combat phase, you can pick 1 enemy unit within 3 of the bearer, roll a dice. 2 plus, that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds, and until the end of the phase, you can roll wound rolls for attacks made by friendly gargants that target that unit. On a 1, the bearer suffers d3 mortal wounds. These jar, of course, more preferable for me rather than whooping tentacles. Rerolling wound rolls, it's pretty significant, and you don't have that buff in the game too much all around. Net of the Beast River, at the start of the combat phase, you can pick 1 enemy monster within 3 of the bearer and roll a dice. On a 4 plus, until the end of the phase, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by that monster, and you can add 1 to hit rolls for. This is a big. If you play against monster armies, of course, you would know that if you go to a tournament, but again, if you play, let's say, Iron Jaws with the Maw Crusher or Stonehorns or something with the big monsters who charge you, who attack you. Now see, if you take against this army, extremely intimidating, subtract 1 from hit rolls, and then that one, so you have -2 to hit. Stonehorns, usually they hit, I think, on 4 plus with their horns, the strongest attack, so they will have 6 plus to hit you, right? So it's basically this combo will deny Beast Claws a lot, or will force them to attack something else in your army rather than your general. Very situational, and you should know who you're playing against, but if you go to tournament or something, probably I wouldn't use that because there are not really that a lot of monsters who can be affected by that rule. And you have +1, so you have better chances to kill the monster, right? So global entrance, so basically your general becomes a wizard, and he can spell one. He knows 1 spell. He can cast it It's either Arcane Bolt and Mystic Shield, and can attempt to unbind one spell. So many podcasters who listen, they prefer this artifact. Can be good because you can use endless spells now, and if you're lucky, unbind one. But in a magic heavy matter, having the wizard without buffs to spell and without interesting spells in their pocket, I think it's just waste of artifact. Kraken Sandals, the Bearer's Almighty Stamp, has attack use of 3 instead of 2. Okay, that's might be interesting too. This is a D3 damage. It will become not 2 attacks but 3 attacks, hitting on 3+, and rend will be -3. So basically automatic hit most of the times if it gets hit, and 3 damage. So now we see that we can, if we need, we can improve the damage output, and looking at all the artifacts, this is the one I would consider a lot because it's universal. It's just pure damage output, more reliable, and yeah. So far, Kraken the Sandals and maybe Jar of Burning Rock, which allows you to roll wound rolls. These both are pretty good. So we are moving out from Tekir tribes to the Stomper tribes. Probably, I think the Stomper one is the strongest in melee combat, the meanest one. So let's see, Mega-Gargant. So 35 wounds, nothing changed here. 4+ save, again, nothing changes. He doesn't have missile weapon. He has 3 attack profiles, Death Grip, 1 attack, 3+, 2+, -3, and D6. Similar to previous Gargant. Jump up and down and move it around. 4 attacks, 3+, 3+, -2, D3. Maybe a little bit better than Almighty Stomp, and having 3 range, pretty significant range. And Titanic Boulder Club. Oh, it depends how many models are around. So let's see. Almighty Jump. You can roll hit rolls of 1 for jump and up down attacks unless the target is a monster. Okay. And jump and down is 3+, 3+, -2, D3. Crushing Charge, similar on 2+, when charged, D6 to anything that is not a monster, and to a monster is just D3. Death Grip, you can roll hit rolls of 1. Everything goes similar here to the previous Gargant. And now we see some small changes. Hurled Body. Once per combat phase, you can pick 1 enemy model with within 3 of this model and roll a dice. And the Hurled Body modifier shown on this model's damage table. To the roll. If the roll is at least double the enemy model's wound characteristic, it is slain, and you can roll another dice. On a 4+, you can pick an enemy unit within 12 of this model and visible to it. That unit suffers a number of mortal wounds equal to the wound characteristics of the slain model. Again, pretty cool. You just take it and crash. You can destroy coherencies with it, but my biggest concern is you have to roll double of wound characteristics. So if a model has 3 wound characteristics, it's a very low chance that it works. Long Shanks, again, almost like flying, but not completely. Sons of Behemat, again, the same. You can just slay the model with a spell. It just converts to D6 mortal wounds. Terror, again, the same. Timber, the same. Each unit within 3 of points suffers D3 when he falls. And now Titanic Boulder Club, the attack profile that he has with 3 range. And attack characteristics here is equal to the number of enemy models within 3 of the attacking model. Add the Titanic Boulder Club value on the attacking model's damage, so when he's at strongest, it's +2. And 4 total for each enemy monster within 3 of the attacking model. Oh, and add 4 for each monster. If the unmodified attacks characteristic of this Titanic ball is less than 1, count it as being 1. And if it's more than 10, count it as 10. What does it mean? That basically he can have maximum of 10 attacks and minimum of 1 attack. So again, nothing crazy booming or something. Like very strong, yes, heavy hitting guy, but 500 points. And actually, how much exactly is? 490. Okay. Oh no, actually he's the cheapest one, 480. So for 480 points, I can see that it's something incredible. But let's see if Legion's ability, if he will be general and from Stomper clan will help somehow. Add 1 to damage inflicted by each successful attack made by a friendly Mega-Gargant unit that targets unit within 10. Add 2 instead of 1 damage inflicted by each successful attack made by friendly Mega-Gargant unit that target unit within 20 more. That's huge if you play, of course, against horde armies like Reds, even OCR Bone Reapers. They usually have at least 20 mortar guards. So anything like horde or semi-horde armies, this is the tribe you want to go with. Again, for tournaments you need to find gold in middle, but so I want to see how Mega-Gargants hit. So the Headbutt has 4 damage, 1 attack for +3 ±3 range, so it would confirm to 6 damage. Their Massive Club, 10 attacks, 3 +3 ±1 range, and can you imagine? Damage is now 1, but if they hit Horde Army, it will be 3. So 10 attack, 3 +3 with -1 range, with 3 damage. That, my friends, are pretty significant. Yeah, so not bad if you know that you go against hordes. Big shouts. If an army is Stomper tribe, you general must use the following big shouts command abilities. They can use any other command abilities. Wow, that's pretty cool. So it's similar probably to Osiriak Bone Reapers, because in this tribe you cannot use normal command abilities. You can go only with the command abilities that they give you. So what we have here, get a move on, you slackers. You can use this command ability at the start of your movement phase. If you do so until the end of the phase, if you make a run roll for friendly Mega-Gargant unit that is within 80 of your general, the roll is treated as being 6. Okay, transfers run to 6. We saw that. Grab those rocks and chuck them at something. You can use this command ability at the start of your shooting phase. If you do so when you use chuck rocks battle trade, you can pick all friendly Mega-Gargants unit within 18 of your general to make chuck rock shooting attacks instead of 1 only. So what I see now from the Stomper clan, it's better first of all facing horde army or semi-horde armies first of all, and having 1 Gargant, the general, and fill everything else with smaller Gargants, right? Because with buff, everyone can shoot. They have +2 damage if they hit units 20+. So what I see from this Stomper tribe, it's better to have just 1 Mega-Gargant. Next command ability, you can use this command ability at the start of your charge phase. If you do so until the end of the phase, you can roll charge rolls. Okay. Stop mucking about them and hit them. You can use this command ability at the start of your combat phase. If you do so until the end of the phase, you can roll hit rolls of 1 for attacks made by friendly Mega-Gargant units that are within 18 of your general. So basically, compared to normal command ability, it has a 18-inch bubble. Watch your back, your Garmless slot. Okay. You can use this command ability at the start of the combat phase. If you do so until the end of the phase, you can reroll save rolls of 1 for attacks that target friendly Mega-Gargant. Units are within 18. So basically, it's very similar to normal command abilities, but just having bubble rather than single unit. Again, pointing out that this is the tribe best if you're going mass Mega-Gargants and only 1 big general. And the final one, you can use this command ability at the start of your Battle Shock phase. If you do so until the end of the phase, do not take Battle Shock test. Again, bubble. pretty nice. Why it does that? Because you don't have many models, so you need to squeeze everything from them as you can. You need these bubbles. You can't afford losing Battle Shock even a single model, and you need to hit them, be most effective. Very nice. I know lots of people are going with one Mega-Gargant and lots of Man Crushers. Our list will be more targeted around 3 Mega-Gargants and 3 smaller Gargants. Command traits now. Veterans of one-sided battle. Monstrously tough. The general has a wound characteristic of 4 instead of 35. We saw that already in a previous tribe. Old and gnarly, you can roll save also 1. For attack, again the same. Add 1 to attack characteristics of that general's Titanic Boulder Club. Pretty similar to previous one, so not big changes here. When you use this general's hurled body ability, you can reroll the dice that determines if the target is slain and thrown. Again, not bad, but I'm skeptical about this ability because it's double wound characteristics, not single. Like you don't need to roll equal. Very shouty. If the general is on the battlefield at the start of the first battle round, you receive 3 extra. Great thing, because again, a tribe for mass Man Crushers, and you need lots of command points to support this tribe. So out of everything so far, I would go with these 3 extra command points, and hoping to roll 5 times. Eager for the fight, you can attempt to charge with the general if it is within 18 of the enemy instead of 12. Roll 3d6 instead of 2d6. Not bad if it was a bubble for all Man Crushers around, but it's only for general, so if it was a bubble, I would probably go with this ability, but if it's not, then my choice here for command trait is very shouty, these 3 command points. Artifacts of power, I see only 3 artifacts of power compared to 6 artifacts in the previous tribe, which is a Taker tribe. So we'll see what's there. You can reroll save rolls for attacks that target the bearer. In addition, if the roll save rolls is an unmodified 6 and the attack was made with a melee weapon, the attacking unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Not bad. Actually, rerolling save rolls, if you're fighting Horde, they usually don't have rend, so 4+ rerollable. It's, I would say, pretty safe. And if you're not facing Horde army and just elite armies, you know, and getting mortal wounds on mortal wounds back on 6s, having 35 wounds, there will be a couple of wounds back. And when you have elite army, you don't want to lose any models, so not bad. Club of the First Oak. In your hero phase, you can heal 1 wound allocated to the bearer. In addition, if the bearer is slain, roll a dice before the bearer model is removed from play. On a 4+, the wound or mortal wound is negated and the bearer is not slain, and any wounds that remain to be allocated to the bearer are negated. So that's basically the funnest artifact so far I read. Because can you imagine how many games it can change by just surviving 1 more hit, 1 more attack? Huge, cool ability, love it. But on the other hand, for a more competitive game, I would still prefer rolling save rolls because you will save much more like that rather than having 4+ in the end. Mantle of the Destroyer. Friendly Gargant have a bravery characteristic of 10 while they are within 12 of the bearer. In addition, you can roll charge rolls for friendly Gargant that are within 12 of the bearer. Now it all depends on your strategy. If it's all about buffing your Man Crushers, small Gargants, then it's pretty good. They will never run away because you won't have more than 3 models probably in your unit. The fact that you're playing an aggressive game, you need to charge all the time. Rerolling charges, it's pretty significant. So it's now it's debatable to you if you want to having just your general the star of the show, then buff with Ironwell Cestus. It means that he will be able to reroll save rolls, or buffing just your Man Crushers. And now we're moving to the final breaker, very charismatic guy. Again, 35 wounds, nothing changes here. 4+ save, 7 bravery. He has 12 12, 18 range missile attack, 1 attack, 3+, 2+. Actually pretty reliable. With -3 rend, so basically almost all the time automatic hit, and 4 damage. Yeah, not bad, why not? Almighty Stomp, 3+, 3+, -2d3, almost the same. Death Grip the same. And Fort Crusher Flail. 10 attacks, 4+, 3+. So this is a big difference between 3+, 3+, and 4+, 3+. But -3 rend and 3 damage. Wow, actually, and it has 10 attacks when you're strongest. So let's see. Let's say that you 5 goes from hit, and then 3+. Let's say 3 can go on wound. So 3 minus 3. So pretty reliable 9 damage. Very strong attack. I think this guy. Yeah, this guy is very good in melee combat. Almighty Stomp, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 for Almighty Stomp. Attack, well, we already heard that. Crushing Charge, same, d6 damage if not monster, if monster d3 on charge. Death Grip, you can roll hit rolls of 1 with Death Grip for a monster. Longshanks, basically, as he counts, he does count as flying, but he can run over the terrain as a flying unit. Smash Down, this is new. Add 1 to the damage inflicted by each successful attack made by this model that target a unit that is part of garrison or is wholly or within the terrain feature. That's a big one. First of all, Caradron Overlords, they're all in garrison. Huge. Secondly, terrain feature, let's say Sylvaneth, who rolls on the forest. And other things too. You will think twice if you want to benefit from covers and giving +1 save, having +1 damage. In addition, at the end of the combat phase, you can pick 1 terrain feature within 3 of this model and roll dice. If the roll is equal to a greater than a smash down value of this model, smash down is 2+ when it's strongest and 6+ on weakest. That terrain feature is reduced to rubble, and if it's scenery rule and replaced with the deadly scenery rule, if it has a scenery rule, it is replaced with a deadly scenery rule, and its keywords are changed to scenery and rubble. That's huge because it can easily destroy OBR Nexus. It can easily destroy Sylvaneth Forest. Huge ability. Probably one of the most significant abilities that I read in the book so far. Son of Behemat, again, he can't die from the he can be slain from the spell. But he will suffer d6 mortal wounds instead. Terror, subtract 1 from bravery, and timber. When he falls, he does disregard mortal wounds. As I said, I would prefer having d6 because they're so big, and lore-wise it would be more logical, I would say. So let's see what his tribes can do. Okay, and his tribe is Breaker tribe. So first of all, add 1 to the damage inflicted by each successful attack made by a friendly. Same. Close again. A friendly Mega-Gargant unit that targets a unit that is part of the garrison or is wholly or within terrain feature. So it's anti-Sylvaneth probably list, but you don't see too many games where someone is in garrison. Actually, no games I remember that someone is in garrison. I don't think if anyone uses this rule, but only KO again and Sylvaneth. And you can destroy the scenery even with the Man Crushers, not only with a general but a Man Crusher. And how it works, add the number of the models in that unit, and if the roll is 7+, the terrain feature is reduced to rubble. Yeah, so if you have a unit of 3 Man Crushers, you need to roll it 4+, and scenery will be destroyed. Loathing. When you pick a Breaker tribe army, you can choose or roll for 1 ability for Fierce Loathing table. And the table is here. The ability applies to friendly Gatebreaker Mega-Gargants and friendly Man-Crusher Gargants. That's nice. First of all, it doesn't buff other Gargants if they're a different type. So so far what I see that the book more encourages you to have more smaller Gargants rather than 3 big Gargants and just work around 1 Mega-Gargant. But who cares? I love Gargants, so we'll have 3 of them. So let's see what you can pick from a Fierce Loathing table. Add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by the unit with this ability that target a hero or wizard. Cool. Add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by units with this ability that target a totem or a unit with any command models. I never seen keyword totem. Please leave a comment below and tell me what the totem is. Shiny-Ons. Add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by the unit with the ability that target a unit with a save characteristic of 1, 2, 3, 4+, and that is not a hero monster. I would go with this one because most of the time you don't fight heroes and you fight just normal battle lines and you need to go through them. So +1 damage to hit rolls makes your giants much more reliable. Add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by units with the ability that target a unit with 20 or more models. Again, if you're playing situational game and you know your opponent, then you can, of course, change this Fierce Loathing table as you need. But if you go to a tournament, you have to do something balanced, and most balanced so far I see it's just hitting anything with 1, 2, 3, 4+ save characteristics. Wannabes add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by units with the ability to target a war machine or monster. Again, if you're going against monster list, of course, but it's not too often. Piggy Bakers add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by this unit with this ability to target a unit with a mount, and that is not a monster. Again, situation. Okay, let's go to command traits. Unstoppable Besiegers. The general has a wound characteristic 40, not 35, so in different tribes also. You can roll save rolls of 1 for attack that target this general, so that add 2 to attack characteristics of this general. For Crush of Flail, has 10 attacks, 4+, 3+, -3 with 3 damage. Actually, having 2 extra attacks would be good because now you can move to more or less reliable 9-12 damage per attack, which is you can choose or roll for 2 abilities from the Fierce Loathing table for your army instead of 1. If you randomly generate the second roll again, if you randomly if it's the same as the first, the second ability only applies to the general. Okay, so Fierce Loathing ability. You can roll again, have another one, like reroll hit roll, so 1, depending on the situation, what you choose, but now it goes only to general. Yeah. So Smasher, when you use this general smash down ability, you can reroll the dice roll that determines if the terrain feature is turned into rubble. Well, if you play against OBR, I would probably choose this one because this Nexus has to go down. While this general is within 9 of the terrain feature that can have a garrison, when you look up a value on this general's damage table, they are treated as if they have suffered 0 wounds. Again, if you're playing against KO army probably, but I can't find any other situations unless Games Workshop will decides to implement more garrison play into game. And again, we have only 3 artifacts of power for this tribe. First one, it's Enchanted Portcullis. Roll a dice each time you allocate a wound or mortal wound to the bearer. On a 6, that wound or mortal wound is negated. If it was 5+, yes, but 6, not too reliable. I would prefer rolling save rolls from the previous tribe. If then modified hit roll for an attack made with the bearer's forked crush a flail is 6. The attack inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage. In addition, when you use the bearer's smashdown ability, you can add 1 to the dice roll that determines if the terrain feature is reduced to rubble. Yes, this one is good one. First of all, you maximize your attack from Fort Crush a Flail. Again, 3 damage. If you get command crate that gives you 2 more attacks, now you can get on, so you have 12 attacks, hitting on 6, so you should roll at least 2 6s, statistically speaking, so you'll have 2 more wounds from this attack. Yeah, why not? And of course you have more chances to destroy terrains. You can roll wound rolls of 1 for attacks made by the bearers, the target hero. In addition, you can roll wound rolls for attacks made by the bearer, the target general. My choice would be the Great Rex. Again, 6s give you mortal wound, additional mortal wound, and you add 1 to the dice to determine if the terrain feature is reduced to rubble, for sure. So that's that with the tribes. My opinion that pretty interesting tribes depending what you're playing. If, for example, I went Mass Man Crushers, of course I would choose Breaker Tribe. I love, Stomper Tribe. But I like Gate Breaker. Mega-Gargant has very nice attacks and cool abilities. But what I did not like is I didn't very like Breaker Tribe's command abilities, and but we'll see. We need to test it. But nothing super special that will give me lots of fun and enjoyment compared to Stomper Tribes if I have all Man Crushers. And with 3 Gargants, what I see, I would go with Tribes because first of all you can get additional artifact. So if you run 3 Mega-Gargants, you can give 1 artifact to another Gargant or give 2 artifacts to your main guy, and healing and kicking the objective. So yeah, it's fun. It's just, I think the funnest tribe to play is Take a Tribe. So I think in our future battle report we start with Take a Tribe, and then we will experiment with others. So that's that. Or then the book continues with Mega-Gargants as mercenaries. So you can include Mega-Gargants as mercenaries in other armies. They get mercenary keyword. It cannot be the general if in your army, they say. So in pitched battle profiles, which we're interested the most, you can include 1 Mega-Gargant mercenary unit in a pitched battle army, even if it costs more points than you have available to spend on allied mercenary units. A pitched battle army can never include more than 1 Mega-Gargant, so you can't make order Gargant army, right? Mega-Gargant mercenary units are not included when working out the number of battle line units in your army. Yeah. Special rules for mercenary units. If your army includes any mercenary units at the start of your hero phase in the first battle round, you do not receive 1 command point. I would say that's a big, it undermines a lot taking Gargants as mercenaries, because almost all armies are very, very heavy on and need command points compared to, let's say, OP only. And now, who was afraid that no allegiance ability will be transferred to mercenaries, Gargant mercenaries? There have some abilities, so let's go one by one. So if you take Kraken Eater to your army as a mercenary, first of all, Kraken army can only be taken as a mercenary units in order and destruction armies, or by armies for factions that are part of the Order or Destruction Grand Alliance. Okay, so only in destruction armies on Order. And what's the special ability? At the start of the combat phase, you can say that this model will be uncannily cunning. If you do so, this model fights at the end of the phase, but you can roll hit rolls for attacks made by this model in that phase. Wow. Interesting ability. So it depends how you use your Kraken Eater mercenary. If you use him as a bait, that's pretty cool. You will force other armies to hit him. and since he has many wounds, they will try to break at him, and then he will still be able to attack back. Meanwhile, you'll be able to attack with all your other models. If, for example, your opponent chooses to attack your other units, then your Kraken Eater will be able to hit on his strongest and rerolling hit rolls. So great ability. Actually, interesting ability. I wouldn't say that it was great ability, but it's interesting ability. It gives you lots of strategy and opportunities how you want to use. So good bait and good control of your opponent's mind, because now you can basically force him to attack what you need. So not bad. So War Stomper Mega-Gargant can be either chaos or destruction. Okay. Special ability, you can roll hit rolls of 1 for jump and down attacks made by this model. In addition, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by the enemy unit that are within 6 of this model. If this model made any jump up and down attacks early in the same phase. Here it's a little bit different story. It's more aggressive game. They have very big base. The Giants have big base. I think it's 6-inch, and so the bubble of 6-inch -1 to hit is huge. So if you're playing Chaos Army Theory or even Destruction Army, which is very aggressive, and you want to get there and be safe to not be killed like early in the game and have -1 to hit, very reliable, but for a bit more aggressive probably game. But not for even aggressive game. You can even survive the first wave if you would not getting priority, and just keep your elite, let's say, units around your Gargant, and they will have additional -1 to hit. Yeah, not bad. And Gatebreaker, it can be either in death or destruction. So all Gargants can be in destruction as mercenaries, and each Gargant can be in the faction of death, chaos, or order. So Gatekeeper Gatebreaker can be in death, and his special ability: at the end of the combat phase, you can pick one enemy unit within 3 of this model and roll a number of dice equal to the number of models from that unit that are within 3 of this model. For each 6, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So this is the weakest one, because not many models, and even if there were 20 models, it's 3 mortal wounds. I think this is the weakest ability you can get compared to other mercenaries, but this guy is pretty strong in close combat and pretty mean. So depends death if you need some big guys around your skeletons or ghosts. So yeah, for sure, why not? And let's finally read for Main Crusher War Scroll and the episode. So abilities. Main Crushers have 12 wounds compared to big Gargants who have 35 wounds. Move is 8. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention the move of the other Gargants. They all have different characteristics. So Kraken Eater is the slow, in the balanced one. Has 11 move at his strongest. Then War Stomper has a 10 move. Pretty slow actually for Gargants. I was a little bit disappointed because these guys has to be there before they get bracketed and destroyed by shooting or magic. So they're not alpha lace. They won't be able to charge first turn. So a little bit tough. So most likely, if you don't have enough, if you have a lot of drop for your army and your opponent has less drops, you will lose up. You will take the first turn and will have to face your opponent's likely double turns. And the Mega-Gargant, who is Gatebreaker, has a 12-inch move. Yeah, that's actually, yeah, they had to have at least 16 moves because they're giants and they have to be there. And Main Crusher has 8 move, 12 wounds, 5+ save. Again, what? Okay, Arcanat's Company, the small dwarfs have 4+ save. The giant has 5+ save. You have a super elite army, which you can't lose any mortals early in the game, and you have only 5+ save. that's a little bit. I was sure that they would have 3+ save and main crushers will have 4+ save, but 5+, it's like what they're like small grots. I don't know. I don't understand it. So they have Headbutt, 1 attack, 4+, 3+, -3 rend for damage at their strongest. Not bad. Massive Club has 10 attacks, 3+, 3+, -1. But potentially in one clan they can have +2 damage, so their damage can be 3 in a Stomper tribe if they attack Horde arms. And 1 attack, 3+, 3+, -2 D3. Can't say that it's super strong. They're super strong. They for sure need to be buffed to be somehow menacing and do some damage in the game. Keep up ability. If this unit is within 12 of the Mega-Gargant at the start of the charge, it can attempt to charge in the charge phase even if it ran in the same turn. Well, at least something, right? So at least now they can run. So let's say their move is 8, they run 4, so 12. Okay, more or less small chance to charge, easier to charge. And it's not wholly within, so it's a pretty decent range. Stomping Charge, again, similar to Mega-Gargants, D3 damage on charge, D3 damage. And if this unit has more than one model, do not allocate the mortal wounds until all of the models in this unit have made their charge moves. So, yeah. Stuff in the bag. Again, after a model from this unit piles in, you can pick up one enemy unit, but you need to roll double. Again, I would prefer it would be equal or more. And Timber, when they fall, they do D3 damage, similar to Mega-Gargants, but the range is 3 inches, not 5 inches. So, and lastly, battle profiles, like each battle points, what we have here. Main Crusher Gargant, minimum 1 unit, maximum 3. It's up to you how much you want to put in one unit, but you have getting 60-point discount if you get 3 in one unit. And if there's 3 models in one unit, they count as 3 battle lines. Gatebreaker is 490, Kraken Eater is 490, and War Stomper is 480, probably to get you extra chance for Triumph or something like that. And Sons of Behemat can't have any allies. Yeah, so they can be mercenaries, but no one will join them to fight their cause. So that was a review. I went through whole Legends abilities, war scrolls, and gave my thought. The episode was a bit long, but I had to go through each ability. I like the book. I think it will be lots of fun to play. Most of the time to be a little bit similar to, I would say, to Beastclaw Riders, but Beastclaw Riders are more mobile, they're faster, they can fast strike. Here you can't, but playing with objectives, kicking the objectives, and or in different clans buffing really well your smaller miniature Gargants is pretty cool. And or killing the terrain is nice. But what I find, lots of Legends abilities, they can counter one army really well, but not the abilities are not that balanced. So so what you mean, like if you want to go to the tournament, they're not very balanced abilities. So if you prefer to go for destruction of terrains, not many armies will are benefiting from that. But if you are playing against KO and you know that beforehand and you can apply that, it will be very strong, or again OBR pretty strong. So far what I see, I would go with a Kraken Eater first game to see how it works. We never seen in a game objective kicking mechanics, so that should be fun. Also, check out the video where I unbox the Mega-Gargant and compare it to other monsters in the game. And check our Instagram for our painting progress, building progress of Gargants, and our Twitter Both links are in the description. Leave your feedback, click like, subscribe. Everything helps, and see you next time.